Welcome back into Sports Freaks Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Cummings. To my right is Ryan Mooney. Ryan, how you doing?
I'm great today. I'm great.
All right. Well, today is going to be a Chicago Bears podcast. Ryan coming back from baseball. Ryan, so Chicago Bears made a lot of moves in free agency.
Free agency and trades, yeah.
Free agency and trades, yes. They made 6 moves total. Recently, they signed a wide receiver the receiver from Washington. But let's first break down the trade and free agency signings that they made. So their first move was that they traded a 2025 6th-round pick to the Rams for Jonah Jackson.
That's a great trade, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Then they traded for 2020. Then they traded a 2026 4th-round pick to the Kansas City Chiefs for All-Pro guard Joe Thuney. Is that
Thuney?
Joe Thuney. I think that was one of the best moves.
Yeah, he's a 2-time All-Pro, 4-time champion. He's protected Mahomes, protected Brady. He's got a lot of experience. And he played left tackle last season, which isn't his primary position. He's primarily a guard. So I think moving him back to guard, he's going to be even better than he was last season. He was like basically the Chiefs MVP. He was one of the only consistent players on their O-line. He's real healthy. He is, he's getting old. I think he's 33 now. But for linemen, they retain their skills throughout most of their career. They really don't there's no real significant decline like there are in skill position players. So I think that he'll still perform at a great level, especially moving back to the guard position.
All right, and then by far I think their best move this offseason was signing center Drew Dalman from the Atlanta Falcons to a 3-year, $42 million deal. I think in my opinion, this is by far their best move.
For sure, yeah. We've struggled with the center position for
a long time.
Quite a while.
Cutting Whitehair and
Whitehair wasn't bad, but he wasn't at the right time. But I think it's really great we got this guy. He's going to be an anchor. He's going to be able to lead. He's still young. I think he's only 28. And I'm surprised he didn't. He turned down more money to sign with us, right?
Oh yeah.
He signed for the second most in the center in the league right now, $16.5 million. So turning down more than that, the glory of being number one and all that, that's great. It shows that he wants to come here and he likes what Ben Johnson and Poles are building in Chicago. And I think he's going to be amazing for our line. He's going to be that centerpiece, that keystone that we need to protect Caleb.
I could be wrong on this. I think it's either Joe Thuney or Dalman, where they only gave up 2 sacks. One of them gave up only 2 sacks last year.
I don't think Thuney gave up any. I'm not sure,
Dalman
though.
gave up 2.
I think Dalman might have. Actually, no. It probably was Thuney because Tooney's on the edge, the tackle position. You're going to get more sacks from the edge than you are in the middle. So it probably was Thuney.
Okay. Yeah, and then speaking of kind of moving towards the defensive side of the ball, the Bears went out to the Indianapolis Colts and they signed Dio. If I'm saying this correctly, Obigano.
Hold on, I had it on Google real quick.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but they signed
Dio Odengbo
to a 3-year, $48 million deal. A lot of people think this is an overpay, but however, he is still relatively young, and hopefully Dennis Allen, the Bears defensive coordinator, can turn him into a relatively solid player.
I think considering his stats, it is an overpay for the moment. But I've heard a lot of stuff from scouts, from NFL execs, that his game and his play style is going to fit really well into the defense that Dennis Allen wants to create, and that his skill set is going to pair really well with Sweat on the other end. So it's he's being signed more to bring out the better in Sweat, and Sweat's going to bring out better in him. And hopefully, if the two mesh together well, then they'll be able to be a force on the edge of the line.
Hopefully this Chicago Bears defense can stay healthy. I think that was one of the problems last year. I think a lot. If Jaquan Brisker stays healthy, I think a lot of things would have went in more of a positive direction than what happened last year.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got Grady Jarrett once again from the Atlanta Falcons on the defensive end. He will be playing defense. He is a defensive tackle. He got signed to a 3-year, $43.5 million. A lot of people like this move. This is a veteran.
That's a great move.
Was he an All-Pro?
He's been All-Pro before, I believe.
He's an All-Pro before. The Falcons released him. Ryan, your thoughts?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's a Chicago native, right?
Let's see. He might be.
I'm not sure. I thought I heard somewhere.
Jarrett, birthplace. I don't. No, Georgia.
Oh, oopsies. Well, he was an Atlanta native. Well, Georgia native, played for Atlanta. They're Georgia. Whatever. But I think it's a great signing. Like you said, he's a veteran. He's going to bring out, leadership, just like Dahlman on the other end. He's coming over with Dahlman. I'm sure that they have a great friendship. They're going to bring a lot of good stuff to the locker room because, in summer camp, they're on the opposite sides. Dahlman's trying to block Grady. But I think that whoever we put next to Grady, or if we just, stack the box with 3, or if we stack with 4, whoever gets put next to him is going to have more opportunities because I feel like people are going to focus on Jarrett. He is a big dude. He's he's strong. He's got good force. He has a lot of presence. He's a good trash talker too. I've seen a lot of clips. He hates Jordan Love, which is awesome.
Yeah, I saw a clip too.
Yeah, but I think his mentality and his just pure skill is going to really turn things around on the defensive front that has struggled for the recent years.
All right. So, Ryan, I ask you this, and other Bears fans out there, does the Bears now having an improved offensive line make them a playoff contender?
For sure.
Okay.
It's incredible. If these guys can, perform as they did last year, even if they perform a little bit worse, I think we're going to be great. I think we need Darnell to step up a bit more.
Darnell Wright,
yeah, and we need Braxton to remain consistent because Braxton Jones, he didn't have much help beside him, but he wasn't very great. He was probably the weakest link on our line. But he's a big dude, and he's made for tackle. If he can, work along with beside these guys, and if Darnell can do the same, I think we're gonna be a force because those. That center, the guard, and our the middle of the line, those guys they're solid. They're going to get the work done.
Well, two things. Do we still have Tevin Jenkins?
No, he's a free agent.
Yeah, free agent. Yeah.
Bengals are currently interested in signing him.
Yeah, I think the Bears have been lacking a center for so long. I mean, everybody in the Chicago world was screaming, "Please get a center," and Drew Dahlman's the guy. And I do have to agree with you, Brian. I do think bringing in an improved offensive line does put the Bears in playoff contention. We can see what Caleb Williams does with the ball. Yes, he overthrows a lot. I feel like that can get fixed, over time.
Yeah, it'll definitely get fixed because he was just a rookie as well.
Yeah, I think also, I think once Caleb Williams starts to get those fundamentals improved, I think that will put the Bears into a deeper playoff run.
New play caller will definitely help a lot. And then having time, not taking 68 sacks in a season is going to really help him. He's going to have more time. He's going to be able to get through his progressions better, and he won't have to run as much, and he'll be able to stay he won't get fatigued as quickly in those games because he's not trying to scramble over the whole field evading defenders the whole time.
All right. Well, speaking of play calling, what could Ben Johnson's offense look like in his first year as a head coach for the Chicago Bears?
We're going to have Darnell Wright throwing TDs to Ashton Jeanty once we pick him at 10. No, I'm not sure. Really, I don't know if he'll try to replicate what he did in Detroit. I don't know. It's hard to tell because he's never been a coach before. He's been an offensive coordinator. But I think it's going to look very the same. I think he's going to try to draft either what's his name from Penn State, Tyler Warren at 10 if he's there, or Gene T if he's there, which I'm hearing he may not be. I hope he is because I've loved Gene T. Ever since he broke out, should have won a Heisman. But I think he's going to try and replicate what he did with those dual threat running backs, or just try and have a jumbo set all the time. So you know what I'm talking about, the jumbo set, right?
Jumbo's
like two tight ends in the field. Okay. So we'll have Kmet and Warren if we end up drafting Warren, or if we end up signing somebody. I'm not sure who's out there.
Gerald Everett.
I hate Gerald Everett.
Well, he's off the. Or dude,
he's off. We cut him.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to try and incorporate plays like that where we have those two big. Both blockers and pass catchers, those dual threats we can have. He'll try to run a lot of those plays, or he'll try and do plays with two backs. He'll have Swift as our speed back, and then I don't know who else is our power back.
Maybe there were a lot of rumors that we're trying to draft a running back.
Yeah,
who would that be? I forgot.
Well, there's a lot of guys.
Like
there's Ashton Jean T. There's guys in the second and third round. You got Omarion Hampton.
I mean, hey, I would honestly wouldn't be the worst thing because what you saw from Dave Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, yes. Sonic and Knuckles. I mean,
Yeah, you got the speed back and you got
yes.
the power back. If
Like-
we can get somebody that can, bounce off tackles and like
yeah,
like
Ashton G could be that.
Jeanty's got great contact balance. He's a small guy, but man, can he bounce off defenders.
All right. Now, speaking of the draft, should the Bears add more to the offense/offensive line through the draft, or do you think they should go for more of a defensive, another defensive like tackle or presence at the 10th
I
pick,
think
right?
Well, which pick are you talking about? The first round?
Yeah.
At that number 10, the first round, I think really the only good thing to do is offense because the offense this year is stacked in the draft.
I heard the receivers aren't that good.
No, well, receivers no, but you've got a lot of tackles. You've got some good tight ends. You got good running backs.
Left tackle, I think the Bears do need to address. I feel like.
Maybe. But realistically, I think if we were to go tackle, Will Campbell's already made off the board. And I feel like at 10, Kelvin Banks Jr. or that guy from Mizzou will be too high. So I think we'd probably have to trade back if we were going to go. All good?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
I'm just making.
If we were going to go with the
SAG is really but
yeah. Do you want me to continue talking?
yeah, you can talk about it.
Okay. What was I saying? If we're going to go for the tackle, I think we're either going to have to trade up or trade back. Trade up for Campbell or trade back, get some more later picks for a, like I said, KBJ
Well,
or...
I heard something. This is kind of a trade, but I heard like the Bears might be, or there was a prediction by somebody that the Bears should like trade for Trey Hendrickson. In exchange, they'll move down. They'll move down to get the Bengals pick, and the Bengals. We will give the Bengals the 10th pick, and they'll give us their pick plus Trey Hendrickson.
I don't think that would happen. The Bengals want a crazy amount for Trey Hendrickson, and I personally don't want him. He had
Really?
a great season last year, but he is 31, and I don't know if he's going to play for much longer.
Okay.
Because I feel like that season's sort of an outlier. He had 17 and a half sacks.
You think it's
But-
you think it's like a flash in the pan?
I think it was not necessarily a flash in the pan, but I think it was sort of a fluke, maybe.
Okay, so
He was one
I
of the
guess you
only
could
bright
consider
spots
it.
in the Bengals, but
okay.
I don't know if he's going to be able to reproduce the same as he did the year before.
All right.
And I don't think we need him now, honestly, because if we're gonna trade, if we're gonna trade for a guy like that, we already have so much money put into that defensive front.
Yeah, we do.
So-
I do feel that the Bears kind of do still need like that superstar level talent at the defensive end. Like you need like a Joey Bosa or a Miles Garrett to officially say like, hey, this is a top 5
Well,
defense.
would you
we have
rather
here.
have like one star, one superstar, or Jarrett and if Sweat and Dio break out, then we got 3 stars in the front of the line.
Well, like hopefully that pans out.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like maybe somewhere down the road, if this defense is like, okay, let's just say like a top 10 defense right now. Okay, maybe like 2-3 years from now we get a Miles Garrett or a Joey Bosa if Bosa can stay healthy, in which Bosa's had problems. with
Bosa's
health.
probably going to retire soon.
Yeah,
I don't know if we're going to have him.
I mean, I know the rumors that the Bears, well, not rumors, that people were backing the Bears to go and get Khalil Mack. I wasn't,
Really? I would have loved
No,
Mac
man.
back.
But getting Khalil Mack would be like getting Keenan Allen.
I don't think so. I think
I disagree.
Keenan is. I think he's feeling the age more than Khalil is. I think Khalil can still produce as he has been.
I just felt like, but he is at that age, Khalil Mack. He's at that age where he can get injured, and he does have injury problems. I personally wouldn't do it, and plus I think you have to pay him a lot of money.
Yeah.
But speaking kind of like defense, offense, what other areas would you like to see the Bears address?
Oh, I'm glad you asked this. I think we do need another running back.
Do you think that we should draft one, or do you
I'm thinking if
we
we,
sign one?
it's really tough because it depends on who's going to be there, or if we trade up, trade back. Like I've been saying, I'd love to get Gene T. I think he would work amazing with Ben Johnson, and I'm sure Ashton would love to work with Ben Johnson.
Okay.
What's up?
Ben Johnson, did you see like the press conference?
Oh yeah, he looked like so disgruntled. Yeah, hopefully everything's okay though. I'm sure it is.
It's Chicago Bears.
Yeah, it's Chicago football.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? But maybe bring in. I mean, we just did bring in Olamide Zacchaeus, the receiver.
Oh yes, the receiver guy from Washington. Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking. Okay, mostly for depth, but like a wide receiver 3, who Zacchaeus can be. I think because I don't know if Tyler Scott is that guy yet.
Are you saying get like a draft one?
Well,
Or-
try. Yeah, draft or sign. We need somebody with speed. We need somebody who can play the slot.
I feel like you have though that with like DJ Moore and Roma Dunze.
Yeah, those guys. I don't know if they can play the slot as well as they would the X and the Y.
Yeah, and I'm telling Ben Johnson right now, please use Cole Kmet.
Yeah, no, he will. He will for sure. He will for sure.
I am begging you, please use Cole Kmet.
You saw what he did with Sam Laporta. He's going to turn Kmet into one of the better tight ends.
He better.
I think he will.
He
I
better.
have faith. But speaking of that, I think either a backup tight end, somebody to back up Kmet, or a secondary option, like I said, for those jumbo sets. I'd love to see that. The O-line were good. Other than that, it's mostly just defense. Linebackers, I would have loved them to see Jack Sanborn back, but he's
free agent now, right?
Yeah, I think he's in negotiation with the Cowboys now. I don't know if
a
he's
lot
going to
of
get re-signed.
fans were a little bit like, I don't know what the word would be for it.
They were a little upset, just
Yeah.
little torn over it because he's a good guy, he's consistent, he wouldn't cost much. I don't know why we wouldn't bring him back because I think he's a really great presence in the locker room from what I know. I wish we would have gotten him again though.
All
But I'm thinking defensive front, I feel like we're good. We've gotten enough guys because, we have our two edges set. We got that tackle. If we want to have another tackle, we can just throw Gervon Dexter or, what's his name? The big dude, Andrew Billings. Linebackers, yeah, like I said, just some depth. We re-signed Ahmed Ogbongbemiga just recently. He's more of a special team specialist, but he will play some important depth roles with the linebacker core. In our secondary, we need Brisker to stay healthy. We need
Stevenson to be
we need Stevenson to come back because he was playing great. I love Stevenson. I hope he can really.
I love Stevenson too, man. I mean, I've been a big time. I mean, even when he got the whole Hail Mary thing, I've been a big supporter of Tyreek Stevenson.
I'm wondering. I think Zacchaeus might have been the one that caught the Hail Mary ball. I'm not positive though.
Zacchaeus,
the guy that we just signed.
Oh,
I feel like it was. Unless it might have been Dynami Brown. I'm not sure though.
I'm not sure either.
But anyways, safeties I think we're good. If Byard can stay, if age doesn't hit Byard,
Kevin Byard,
he's getting up there. But I hope he can stay productive and remain a viable free safety through his age, because he's getting older. Brisker needs to stay healthy. He is like the Cam Chancellor of our team. He is a hard-hitting dude. We need somebody like that. Jalen Johnson, of course, is going to be fine. Kyler Gordon is going to be fine as our slot cornerback. And then I feel like we need some more depth at the cornerback position because I don't know if I can trust Tyler Stevenson right now.
Tyreek.
Sorry, yeah, Tyreek. I said Tyler. Yeah, Tyreek Stevenson. I don't know if I can trust him.
Kyler Gordon, I like Kyler Gordon too.
Yeah, I like Kyler. I think Kyler's. I would have to worry about him in my opinion.
All right, so moving from Bears to NFL, other NFL talks and stories around the league. I think recently, I think the biggest one, at least my opinion, was the DK Metcalf trade to the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, I'm sad to see the Seahawks fall apart like that.
Yeah, I think also another big story for Bears fans at least is that Justin Fields heading to the Jets.
Oh yeah, I'm happy for him.
I want to talk about that. I'm hoping he does well.
I really do too.
Yeah,
I think he will.
Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, he's out of there.
No, he's gone. He's gone.
He's going to try to play for the Steelers or the Saints, according to some NFL news takes. But the Jets, all right. So now I had Justin Fields. How many will be your record prediction for them?
With Justin, it depends on how he performs and how the offense holds up around him. If the Jets can get Breece Hall back into what he was when what year was that? Was that 2023? Yeah, it was 2023, the year that Wilson went down or Rodgers went down. He was really good that year. He basically not carried them, but he really helped the offense to that 7-10 record they have. I think it was 7-10, right?
That year?
Yeah, I think.
I'm not quite sure, but
I think it was 7-10. They weren't bad. Breece Hall is playing good. If they can get Breece Hall in and then have Justin perform, I don't think they're going to be an over 500 team, but I think they're going to be a lot better than they were this past season.
or 7?
Give
10?
him another 7 and 10, I think.
Okay, so
because their
7 and 10.
defense is kind of shaky right now, and the offensive line is.
Man. Yeah, I mean, I think we should now switch to Sam Darnold. Speaking of quarterbacks, Sam Darnold to the Seattle Seahawks. After the Seahawks got rid of Geno Smith, he went to the
And Tyler Lockett.
and as you mentioned, DK Metcalf. They all went to their respective teams, but they brought in Sam Darnold, who had by far his best career with the Minnesota Vikings until towards the end of the season. What does this mean? What does this mean for the Seahawks? What does this mean for the Vikings? The Vikings are probably going to stick with J.J. McCarthy now. They're young, rookie.
Yeah.
Got injured.
I think JJ will be perfectly fine. He's got an amazing offensive line in front of him, top 5 in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He's
coach.
Kevin O'Connell is
coach.
a fantastic coach, fantastic quarterback coach.
Brian Flores with the Jets.
Yeah, he's the Jets' new coach now. Oh, I didn't want to mention that. Jets, their defense might start to kick back up again because they have that defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be a good head coach, though. I just think he'll definitely help the defense.
Like kind of like Vic Fangio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But back to the Seahawks. We were talking about Seahawks. Vikings. I'm sorry. You're right. JJ's going to be fine. JJ's going to perform. They re-signed Aaron Jones, so
I see that they re-signed.
Yeah, they'll be able to have that backfield power.
Got Justin Jefferson, the best receiver.
Oh god, yeah. Justin and Jordan Addison, great. Probably one of the best receiver duos in the league. Mm-hmm. So I think JJ will be fine. Their defense, not sure about their defense.
Okay.
But because they re-signed Harrison Smith, I think who'd they lose? They lost. Was it Cam Bynum? They lost a cornerback. They re-signed Byron Murphy, which is good, but I'm not sure how the defensive line will be.
All right, so you go from the Vikings. What does this mean? What does this mean now for the Seahawks?
Oh, the Seahawks.
Getting Sam Darnold.
I think it's an overpay. I feel like.
Yo, it was like $100 million contract.
I think $100 million for 40. Here, I have it right here.
That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, he's gonna be wearing number 1, which seems kind of weird.
Yeah. We're not number 1. Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it somewhere.
I can look up like Sam Darnold.
Yeah, go ahead.
Contract. Okay, so it's $100.5 million. It's a 3-year, $100 million deal with the Seattle Seahawks. The deal comes with a $55 million guaranteed.
Yeah, so it's about $33 million a year. I think that's an overpay. I mean,
and
Darnold
for a quarterback that has struggled the majority of his career.
Last season he was really good.
Well, last
he was,
his majority of his career he has not done well. I'll go back to the Jets when he was in Carolina. Who else did he play for?
He played for the 49ers. I don't think he started though. He may have.
You're right.
Yeah,
that's a picture of him right here as the 49ers.
What was I gonna say? I don't think he's going to perform well. He won't have that coach he has in Kevin O'Connell. I don't think Mike McDonald is really. I don't think he's definitely not at that level. He's of course not any close to Kevin O'Connell, but I don't think that he's really ready to try and, continue the success from a player who maybe hasn't gained their confidence, especially with kind of being exposed in the playoffs. They lost to the Rams, right?
No, in the playoffs?
Yeah, in the playoffs, the Vikings.
Oh, the Vikings.
Lost.
Yeah, the Vikings lost.
Yeah.
I thought it was the Seahawks.
They lost to the Rams. Oh no. Well, I'm talking about like Darnold lost in the playoffs. Yeah. He kind of had that. I feel like a confidence shaker. So I don't know what he's going to do coming in, especially when his number 1 wide receiver is Jackson Smith and Jigba, followed by Jake Bobo or whatever. He's not going to have those 2 stars like he did in Minnesota. He's got a good running back in Kenneth Walker. His O-line is going to be atrocious unless they make some big moves. I think it was an overpay. I think the Seahawks, they could have done better. Maybe traded up for a quarterback because they need somebody to come in and they need a young player. They need a fresh start, in my opinion.
All right, so this is going to be our last topic. It's going to be about the NFC North. We haven't really seen anything from the Packers side. I think they made one signing.
I think they signed Aaron Banks, a guard.
Yeah, so for the Packers, Lions haven't really made any moves. Obviously, they let go of the coordinators. Vikings have made the Seattle move with Darnold. So I don't know how I phrase this question. what is kind of the outlook for the NFC North heading into this season? Like,
I mean, I'm a Bears fan, so I'm biased, but I think the Packers are going to see a decline. They went 1-5 against the North last year. I think the Vikings. Okay, so official. I think it's going to be Lions number 1, 2 and the 3. I can see the Bears or the Packers like interchangeable in my opinion.
You don't see Minnesota being.
No. I don't think Minnesota's going to contend. It's. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be one of the most difficult, probably the most difficult division in football next year. But especially with a rookie and that weakened defense, I don't know if they're going to be able to replicate the same, 14-3 record or 13.
I think it's 14-3.
14-3. Yeah, because there's 18 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be able to replicate that same productivity. So I can see them falling into the 4, still with a winning record. I can see them going like 9-8. Both the Bears and Packers, I think 10-7 with them probably.
Yeah.
10-7, 11-6 with both of them.
I think the Bears will get a 10-7.
10-7. I can see that as realistic.
We will be doing a season predictions once the schedule comes out. I think that'll be in May or April.
The schedule's out.
No, no, our opponents are out, but the schedule.
Oh yeah, I know. Okay, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, we do have a very tough schedule this year. That's what I think. The
Eagles, Ravens, Bengals.
I think we got the Bills,
Niners.
We have the Chiefs. I think.
No, we don't.
We don't have the Chiefs.
No Bills or Chiefs.
No Bills or Chiefs. Really?
We have the Eagles, the Ravens, the Bengals. We have the Commanders again.
Oh. Yeah, why are we playing the Commanders so much?
I don't know.
We play them like once a year now.
Our home schedule is pretty easy. Look at the Cowboys.
Yeah,
we have
our home schedule shouldn't be a problem.
The Steelers, the Giants, the Browns. But our away schedule is so brutal.
Away is gonna.
I mean, the only easy win I see, maybe San Francisco, but definitely I think.
Yeah, I think San Francisco's on false face third.
Not Oakland. Raiders. L.A. Raiders. I said Oakland.
Las Vegas.
Yeah, Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Yeah.
I said, yeah.
I wanted to mention 49ers are going to fall off the face of the planet.
It wouldn't surprise
so many guys.
It would not surprise me. They've lost. Deebo Samuel.
They've lost Samuel. They've lost Hargrave. They've lost Drake Greenlaw. They've lost Charvarius Ward. They've lost, I think, another cornerback. Who else have they lost in line? They've lost Aaron Banks. They lost Mitchell, but he wasn't really much of a provider for most of the season last year.
Ayuk can get hurt.
Oh yeah, Ike's got a torn ACL. I don't know. I'm not sure.
It would not surprise me if we do beat them. But that will be the end of this episode.
I want to ask you one thing real quick.
All right.
What is your biggest wish for the Bears remaining this offseason?
That's a good question.
Anything, really so make it reasonable. Don't say we go trade for Myles Garrett and give up 4 first rounds.
Well, first of all, that's not happening because Myles Garrett recently signed a deal with the Browns.
He re-signed.
Biggest wish. Oh man. Probably go out and get a left guard.
Left guard? Or left tackle? You mean?
Left tackle.
Okay.
I think go out and get left tackle. Keep improving the offensive line as much as you can. I think that would probably be my wish. Keep Caleb safe. Let's not be a bottom 3, bottom 5 offensive lineman or offensive line ranked this year. Hopefully, we will have a good year. Have a great year. Being Bears fans, I haven't had a great year being a Bears fan since 2018. Hopefully the double doink doesn't repeat.
Oh, don't even mention that.
Oh,
don't mention that. That's taboo. No, I think that's a good wish. I think because we really can't protect Caleb enough. He's a star. We need to treat him like one. So.
Yeah, there's no excuses this year. I'm sorry, there's no excuses. Got your QB, got your coach, got a good receiving core, got a improved offensive line. I'm not gonna say it's top 10 yet until I see some action on the field. Got a solid defense. Your running backs. I know people hate DeAndre Swift. I don't. There's no excuses this year. I'm not saying you had to go to the Super Bowl, but you can't have 5-6 wins. Sorry, it's just that's probably my biggest wish out of them all.
just to have a like a productive, positive season.
You cannot have a 5, 6, 7 win season.
Yeah.
You can't make all these moves and then have 5, 6, 7
we have to at
wins.
least be over 500.
Yeah,
at the very least.
If you can get to a 9-8, a 10-7, for me, gets to the wild card, gets to the playoffs. If you get your brains beat in, that's bad. But I want my quarterback to be in the playoffs.
Get him some experience.
Yeah, get him experience. All right, guys. Now that is the end of this episode. Ryan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Make sure you guys go check out our White Sox and Cubs predictions for the 2025 MLB season. Subscribe for more, and we'll see you guys in the next one.